What's up, guys? It's Josh back here for Inside Wrestling Truth. Got another video tonight. Talk a little wrestling. I've been doing each week, each Friday. I've been doing a little series with greatest wrestling memories in Louisville, Kentucky. And tonight we're gonna do part three. Um, if you remember on the part two, we ended with a Monday Nitro in Freedom Hall in March of '98. And we're going to move up to March of '99, and it was also another WCW event. And it's one of my favorite events ever that I went to. It's probably, might not be number one, but it's two probably. But it was WCW Uncensored pay-per-view of March of 1999. A hell of a night of wrestling. All kinds of matches. I remember this one like it was yesterday. One with my mom and dad and one with my grandfather. He's a big wrestling fan too. He's really the one that got me into it years ago. But yeah, Uncensored '99. I got really good seats for this one. You can actually see me in the crowd if you got the Uncensored '99 on VHS. Because I have it, when I seen it. It's kind of funny, But yeah, really good pay-per-view. The evening started out with Billy Kidman and Mikey Whipwreck. Really good match. It was for the Cruiserweight Championship. Of course, Billy Kidman picked up the win that night. Pretty good match. Wasn't really ever a big Mikey Whipwreck fan, but he was more of a gimmick guy in ECW, kind of funny, if you remember back when he was with McFoley. But yeah, Kidman beat Mikey Whipwreck in a decent match to start the show. Then we had the NWO Black and White members. This was a Harlem Street fight for control of the NWO Black and White, if you remember. It was the NWO Wolfpack and the NWO Black and White, and the Black and White was kind of like the NWO B team. And it was Stevie Ray versus Vincent or Virgil, whichever you want to remember him by. It wasn't a bad match, I didn't think. It was really good, well, not really good, but it was a decent match. Stevie Ray, Vincent, they had a Harlem Street fight. They fought in the stands. They fought everywhere, all over the arena. Stevie Ray and Vincent then got back in the ring, and if y'all remember Horace Hogan that was in NWO Black and White, he comes out and throws the slapjack in the ring, and Virgil picks it up, getting ready to hit Stevie Ray, and Stevie Ray kicks him. Virgil drops it, and Stevie Ray picks it up, hits him with it. Then he puts him in the slapjack, which was another name for the pedigree, and he beat Vincent that night. Other matches that night: Kevin Nash versus Rey Mysterio. This is when Rey Mysterio was unmasked. He had been unmasked before, and at the paper he didn't have no mask. Nash was, of course, in NWO Red and Black Wolfpack, and Luger was with him when he came out. Pretty good match, I'd say. Mysterio, was getting upper hand, and of course Luger tripped him up, and then Nash jackknifed him. And when he jackknifed Rey Mysterio, man, it looked like Rey Mysterio falling off a roof. That's how high up he was, dude. It was crazy. But Nash picked up the win. Pretty good match. Then there was probably the weakest match of the night. Jerry Flynn, not Lynn Flynn. I don't know if any of y'all remember him. He was in WCW. He's like a martial arts guy. They put him with Ernest the Cat Miller. Jerry Flynn won, of course. Not a very good match. More of like a martial arts match, I would say. But Ernest the Cat Miller was funny. He was pretty funny. Uh, let's see other matches. Oh, they had a triple threat match between Sandman, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Raven. Excellent match. They even had a dumpster at ringside, man. I mean, they just beat the shit out of each other, dude. It went back and forth. Everybody, all guys, would get their part in the match, or they'd be on top or whatever. But Sandman picked up the win. Well, he was hacked then. Y'all remember when he was hacked, but I always call him Sandman. Sandman picked up the win. Um, really good hardcore match, I must say. I miss some of that good hardcore wrestling. Um, then we had the Lumberjack Strat match, which was really, I mean, it was a pretty good match. It was Barry Windham and Kurt Hennig versus Benoit and Malenko. I really enjoyed this match. It was for the tag team titles. Hennig and Windham were the tag champs, and but Benoit and Malenko will win the belts that night. They had a bunch of lumberjacks, but nobody that you really remembered other than Arn Anderson. I can't really remember any of them. But yeah, pretty good match. Benoit and Malenko, they went over. Then we had a dog collar match between Chris Jericho and Perry Saturn. This is when Perry Saturn come out with he had like a black dress on and eyeliner and contacts. Really off the wall, man. Very good match. He beat Jericho. Uh, Perry Saturn was another guy that I really liked back in the day. And it's sad to see where his life has turned. I think he's getting a little better now, though. I'm not real sure. But Saturn and Jericho put on a really good match. I really liked it. Then one of my favorite matches of the night was for I believe it was for the TV title. It was either for the TV title or the United States title. I can't really remember. But it was Booker T versus Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. They put on a hell of a match, man. Bagwell was with Steiner. Steiner was the TV champ coming in. And Booker T beat him. But I just remember both of those guys coming out and getting really huge pops, man, from the crowd. Decent match, though. Then the main event of that night was a barbed wire steel cage match, first blood match between Ric Flair and Hogan. This was right before, if you remember, that Hogan was going face and Flair was turning heel again. And they had a really good match. Hogan actually hawked up in this match, which you didn't see him do a whole lot back then. Him and Flair had a really good match. It actually in this match, it was a first blood match, but Charles Robinson was the referee, and he wouldn't ring the bell because Flair was bleeding first, and Owen was beating him down. Flair was bleeding everywhere, and he wouldn't call nothing. And then Arn Anderson ran down with either he had a crowbar or a tire iron or something, and he hit Hogan in the head with it and opened up Hogan, and Flair won the title back. But that was an amazing night. One of the best crowds for wrestling that I had ever been to. Uncensored 1999. The next event that I went to was a few months later in June of 99. And it was at Freedom Hall, and it was WWF SmackDown. This is before SmackDown was on taped with Raw. But yeah, a hell of a show. It's probably the best show I went to, most entertaining. Maybe not the best match-wise, but best entertaining-wise. It was the best event that I had ever been to. They opened up the show with a couple dark matches. I can't remember who was in it. It was some guys from the OVW school. Um, I want to say it was Rob Conway versus Trailer Park Trash. If you remember Rob Conway, he was in the WWE. He was in La Resistance and shit. But yeah, it was a dark match. But then the show opened up. It was a 4-on-3 handicap match. It was Christian, Edge, and Test beat the British Bulldog and the Mean Street Posse, and it actually was a really good opening match for the night. I really liked it. Actually, the show opened with Mick Foley and Austin in the ring talking. That's how the show opened up. WWF title. Triple H beat Al Snow. Good match. I know a lot of people knocked Al Snow, but what I've seen him do live, I thought he was a good worker. We had Mankind and The Rock. They had a match. It went to a draw. They just beat the crap out of each other, but man, it was a hell of a match. It's the first time I seen either one of them live. It was just fucking awesome, man. Just an awesome match. Then they had the tag team match, the tag team titles. The Hollies. It was the Hollies, Crash Holly and Hardcore Holly versus the Hardy Boys, and the Hardy Boys were actually the tag team champions then, and they lost to the Hollies. But that was another good match, man. That is really good match. Hardcore title match really wasn't that good, but it was decent. It was the Big Boss Man beat Big Show. I had seen Big Show in WCW, and just his size he's just ridiculously big, man. Then we had Mark Henry and the Godfather were a tag team, and they beat Viscera, and I can't think of his name, but he was in the Godwins, and then he went to the Ministry. Fuck, I can't think of his name. But Mark Henry and the Godfather won that match. And then the main event of the night was because at the beginning of the show, Val Venus come out and he challenged Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they had a match, and Stone Cold beat Val Venus. Mankind and The Rock interfered in this match as well. But the loudest pop I ever heard live at a wrestling event ever. When I seen Hogan live at Uncensored, he got a loud pop. But when Steve Austin came out that night in Louisville, I mean, you could hear your ears ringing after he come. It was how loud it was. It was like a rock concert, man. It was really cool. But yeah, those are two big, huge events. This is part 3 of my greatest wrestling memories in Louisville. I'll have part 4, which will be the last of this, next Saturday sometime. I hope you enjoyed it. But all I want to say, man, is let's just talk about wrestling on here, man. I don't know what's wrong with motherfuckers on here, but let's just talk about wrestling. And like I say, man, get your money and pay your bills. Peace.